Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brendan with EVOQ Bike. So I've got a great Cat 4 question about lifting. You know I love lifting. You know, though, that I also did too much lifting and hurt my quadratus lumborum. And I do have a video coming about some awesome yoga stretches that I think you can use, because one of the things that the PT said was a lot of low back pain is actually this QL. And the way this PT was trained with myofascial seminar training and dry needling, the hip flexor was also incorporated in this dull pain I was having. And the dry needling was a miracle. But had I had these stretches, I would have noticed things being tighter. And I think that with a lot of the foam rolling and, you know, I even promote elevated legs. I think those recovery tools are great, but I think we learn a lot from the feedback that we get from stretching. So keep an eye out for that one. But this Cat 4 question came in, and this athlete said, hey man, I raced time trials in the UK and I'm in the middle of my season, which is April to September. My homemade plan is simple: build chronic training load from October to March, with mostly endurance rides, incorporating some longer tempo and low threshold work. Then I start doing regular threshold in March and spending more time on my time trial bike, which led me to a great block of races throughout May where I set a load of PRs. I peaked for 100 TT in early June, so I've taken a step back to rest, recover, rejuvenate before going again and aiming to peak in August. I just started working in some VO2 max workouts on the TT bike and will continue the threshold work, as these two sessions are key to race performance, I've found. One thing I'd like your advice on is lifting during the season. I have a background in lifting. It was my main form of exercise for 4 or 5 years, and I used to be pretty strong at it, doing 105 kilogram squat and 180 kg deadlift at 80 kg body weight. Good work. I haven't lifted in a while, so obviously I would start at a fraction of those weights, but I'm wondering whether, now that cycling is my main focus and lifting is supplementary, whether it's worth starting lifting now in the middle of my season or waiting until my race is finished and I go into the transition 2022 prep phase. Keep up the good work. I appreciate all your content. All the best, Sam. Dude, Sam, great freaking question. Number one, I love that you call it the transition and prep phase as opposed to the off season. Bike racing, getting better, there is no off season. I was taught that it was called the off season. It's not. That's where you make all the gains. So this guy's smart with that. The big thing, lifting is supplementary. I lifted too much when I went from my base through build. I was still in the gym 3 times a week. I think that's really what irritated my body. I just like to push the limits, and I crushed myself. So what I said to Sam was, and what I would tell all of you, I'm obviously a big fan of lifting all year round. If his big event is more than 2 months away, he might find some benefit, but that's pretty close. 2 months is not a lot of time. So instead of me telling him yes or no, let's lay this out. How would you approach that? You'd really want to hit some lightweight or body weight adaptation for 4 to 6 weeks, then start getting into those fractions of weights that he's talking about. So with only 8 weeks away, I don't know if you would be making yourself more tired. So that does it take away from the bike work, especially if he's going to be getting into VO2 max work. So I would lean towards no. Now, I mentioned to him, aside from injury prevention and all the good hormonal things that lifting has going on, it does give athletes that extra bit of gear, some more high torque capability. But that's really after you've been lifting the heavy weight. That's not really through the adaptation period. So I don't know if he's going to reap that benefit. So I think it might be best to wait. All that said, maybe get in the gym 1 to 2 times a week for the next 2 weeks and start with some adaptation stuff. Even doing body weight squats will leave you sore. Then see if you can still crank on the bike. If you feel like both are conflicting, shelf it and get to the gym right after that race. So really, I think the takeaway is starting mid-season is not a great idea if you have big races coming up. If you don't have big races, like in upstate New York, we used to have June. I think it was June was like dead. So you could go April, finish your big spring campaign, do June, July, get things rolling so that you're getting into some heavier stuff. If you're not, you might not have another big race until like Green Mountain, which is in September over Labor Day. Really just depends. But once the season of bike racing ends or your main events, start getting in the gym. I'm going to get another good post. I've got a guy who's just starting up right now, and I'm redoing. I know a lot of you use that Excel sheet of like light lifting workouts. It's 3 days. It's good adaptation stuff. It's also good if you are, we'll leave it at that. It's good adaptation stuff. I'm going to put links into all the exercises. But yeah, lifting's huge. It's going to make you a stronger cyclist, stronger athlete. If you are over 33 or 34, you need to be lifting because you want this to become a part of your life before you start losing that muscle mass. Just lift. And you got to give it a fair shot. Don't go to the gym once and be like, this is new to me. This is difficult. That's not actually trying it. So hope this helps. Good luck, Sam. Thanks for the question. Talk to you guys later.